Hello, this is Froogle and welcome back to the third and final part of the Boeing PMDG 737 NGX tutorial flight 1 supplied by PMDG and doing it with FS2CREW. I'm not going to summarize everything I'm doing and everything already. Go and see the other two parts of the video. We are about 40 miles out from top of descent at this point, so we need to start configuring this aircraft now to land. So we're going to start doing that. First thing I need to do is go down to the FMC. Alright, and we're going to go to init ref, and it should be on approach ref, and we're going to have a 30-degree flat landing at 143 knots. So select that twice, and in it goes. And we should find, having done that we have a little indicator up here now, reference 30 degrees, 143 knots, which is very, very cool. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is set up my HDS, which is the HUD. Now our runway elevation, about 13 degrees, so that's fine, 13 feet, sorry, so that's going to be about fine. Runway length at Amsterdam is, I forget, let me look at my notes, in their tutorial, 12467. So 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, enter, we're all set there. Next thing I'm going to need to do is set up the radios. I can do that with FS2CREW. So set 110.10 on standby nav 1.
Set.
How cool is that? So now we'll go ahead and tell him the course. The course for the runway is 184. So set course 184. Why didn't that work? Set course 184. Alright, not entirely sure why that's not working. We will do it ourselves. Like so. Right, let me just check on the checklists. See exactly where we are now at. Alright, so I've set all... Oh, I need to set my minimums and everything else. I didn't set all that shit up. Sorry, excuse my language. So this one needs to be on radar. My minimums are going to be 200 down here. Need to set my transition altitude as well. Now the tutorial from PMDG actually says transition altitude of 4,000 feet. That makes things go by very, very, very quickly in terms of checklists. So I'm actually not going to do that. Alright, so we go destination, forecast. Okay, transition level, I'm going to set it at 8,000 feet. 1, 2, 3. Like so. So that is now all set. I can actually put that back on the legs page and not worry about it. So I've done all of that. Okay. Let's see if he's ready to have his approach checklist read to him. Oh, decision height is going to be 200. Come on. There. ILS fail pass, visual fail up. Now we're going to do an ILS approach. Anti-ice is not required, flaps 30. Great, great, great.
Are you ready for the approach brief?
Okay.
Okay, we will be arriving by ATC vectors. As for the approach, we can expect an ILS approach into our destination. Landing runway condition is dry. Anti-ice is not required. Landing flap will be 30. Auto brake will use level 2. Engine bleeds will be on. Decision height will be 200 feet. Any questions?
No questions.
Approach brief complete.
Alright, so that's all done. He will start setting all this stuff up now based on what I just read to him in that briefing. I need to find... I've lost my checklist. Bear with me. I've lost the checklist I need. Okay.
I'm ready for the checklist.
Here we go. He set everything up now based on that briefing. He's ready for the checklist. So, descent checklist.
Pressurization. Landing altitude 0 feet. Recall. Checked. Auto brake. Level 2. Landing data. VREF 143. Minimums 200 feet. Approach briefing completed. Descent checklist complete.
Alright, and we're ready for the descent now. So all we need to wait for now is an alert basically telling us to look at the FMC to alter our altitude. We're at 25,000 feet. We will need to give the autopilot permission to descend and we're going to set it up to 2,000 feet. Obviously, as I said in the previous two videos, we're not using air traffic control. 2,000 feet is the correct altitude to intercept the glide slope at Amsterdam. There we go, there's the alert right there. If I scroll down here, oops, come on down, it's going to say reset MCP altitude. There.
Check.
Set altitude 2,000. Which he is now doing. So with that done, once we reach top of descent, the aircraft will now start descending towards 2,000, which is exactly what we want.
Altitude 2,000 set.
Alright, let's tell the people in the back to sit the hell down.
Ladies and gentlemen, from flight deck, we've just commenced our descent, so we'd appreciate it if you'd do what we do up here, which is remain in your seat. Thank you.
And that's pretty much it now for a little while. We're getting very, very close now. That is Holland and Amsterdam right there. It will start descending any second. And then we need to start staying on top of the aircraft. So once we reach our transition level of 8,000, he's going to call transition level. I need to read him out the altimeters. He'll read them back. Then we're going to go into the approach checklist, the landing checklist, and so on and so on. And it's going to get very, very busy around about there. So a little bit of a way to go. We're going to turn right any second. Well, not any second, but in a little while. There we go, starting to descend now. I keep thinking I've missed something, and I'm sure some of you watching this right now are saying, Froogle, you missed that. Let me just look at these checklists here. I'm looking at the FCOM V1, which is volume 1, not version 1, as I said in the previous video. No, I think we're good. Let's just take a look at PMDG's tutorial. So they recommend setting up the heads-up display, which I've done, HGS head-up guidance system. Set up the course, we've set up the radios. Oh, no we haven't. The radios are on standby. Swap nav. Swap nav.
Check.
Oh, he swapped the wrong one. Swap nav 1.
Check.
There we go. So he swapped the radios for me. We set up our transition level. He set up the auto brake to level 2, which is what we want. Actually, the tutorial has them setting up auto brake at 0. I'm going to go with level 2. Nice quick stop. Now, if we have a bit of a tailwind, we'll start to see messages flash up down here on the FMC saying drag required, at which point we'd need to arm the speed brakes. Right now, it looks like we're good. Let me bring up the heads-up display here. A little bit fast, I guess. Not massively. I don't see any worries here. We're good. Now, what's going to happen when we get over here is as we start to make this right-hand turn, the runway is here. I don't know if you can see that, and I can't really zoom in. Yes, I can actually. What am I saying? Let me just zoom in on that. There. Okay, so as we make this right-hand turn, we'll be intercepting the localizer about here. So I'll arm the localizer here, get the co-pilot to do that. I'll arm approach here. Once we're established on the glide slope where we've intercepted it, I'll call command B, which is the landing, autopilot, and we'll start working through the flaps and gear down and all that good stuff. This is where we need to decelerate. If that moves out, and it sometimes does with a tailwind around about here, then we'll need to start playing around with auto brakes and stuff like that. Right now we're looking good. Right now we're looking very, very good. Now the time right now is 7:55 in the morning. It has us over here at 8:02, so just 7 minutes away. As we get closer, I can change the range on this and we'll be able to see a better estimate of timing. But a more realistic and reliable way of doing that is actually just to go down here and look at the legs. So here we are. I thought legs would show me time. There is a way of showing time here, but I'm not seeing it. So let's just mess with the range of that display. Just pop it down one notch. There we go. Yeah, not going to see it. We should be landing in about 10 minutes, honestly. About 10-15 minutes. And even though I'm doing auto land, and I know some of you are going, noob, why are you doing auto land? I'm doing auto land because, you know, I'm not used to this aircraft yet. I don't fly jets normally, let alone big commercial ones like the 737. So I'm still very much getting used to it. I will be doing the second tutorial flight from PMDG, and in that flight you do have a manual land, and it is a really hellish one. It's at Innsbruck, with that classic Innsbruck approach down through the valley with a steep right turn onto the runway. So that will be manual, and I will be flying it manual. I'm still studying this. I'm just working through what you guys will be working through if you get this aircraft with the first tutorial, but I'm boosting it a little bit with FS2CREW because I need to review FS2CREW. So that's why things are all automatic right now. Don't hate. It's not nice. Where are we at? Okay, so we're going to make that right turn in a second, and we'll start decelerating very soon as well. Let me bring back my checklists here. Okay, so I'm basically just waiting right now for him to call transition level, which will be at 8,000 feet, so we can just look around, look out the window, and see what's going on. When we make that second turn, this one, we'll basically be facing directly at Amsterdam. You should be able to see it in the distance at that point. Such a smooth autopilot. It does fight a little bit with the wind though when you turn weather on, but that's expected. And with Easy Dock as well, bouncing your view around based on turbulence and things like that, it's a very, very realistic experience. FMC speed warning, we're going a little bit higher than we need to be. We want 267 and we're 269. I might help him in a minute on the arm order the speed brake. I'd rather not if I can help it. Let's just see how we're all configured up here. The cool thing with FS2CREW as well is I don't need to worry about all the lights, which I always forget anyway. As soon as we go onto the landing checklist, he's going to turn all the lights on for me. Let me concentrate on flying the aircraft, which is very handy. I fancy another coffee actually. One coffee please.
Okay, I'll be up in a moment.
I love that.
Hello.
Love that. I don't like the bug where she says hello afterwards, but I love that she brings me coffee, however virtual it may be. Not sure getting a coffee on descent is a good idea, but the joy of simulations. Let's grab my actual drink right here. I understand reading some of the forums as well, PMDG are currently wrapping up or about to go into beta on a 777, but more importantly for me, they're about to go into a beta on a DC-6. Oh, here she is.
Hello, gentlemen. Here are your drinks.
Thank you.
Anytime.
She's so nice. But yeah, coming out with a DC-6, a nice classic prop from the golden age of flight, more up my street. PMDG put such attention into their aircraft, modeling every system as well as the aerodynamics and performance of the aircraft. I can't wait to get my hands on that DC-6. It's going to be amazing. Long overdue. Oh, now we can see the whole flight plan. Look, we're getting very close now. I've got the range set here at 40 miles. That's how close we are. There you are. So we are going to be landing. Still can't see the times. 8:09. There we go. We're landing at 8:09. So 10 minutes-ish. 12 minutes. Let's check I've got everything here. So VOR1, VOR2, they're all set up. I'm on radar for my minimums. I've set the minimums height as 200 feet. This is all good. This is good. Gonna need to set the speed actually once we get on the glide slope. Gonna need to set that down to about 147. Even though we're landing at 143, I actually need to command the autopilot a little bit higher than that to have some safety, but also make sure it does get down. Alright, coming up on the right turn now, which will put the nose directly facing Amsterdam. Eham, which is about there. Or is that it? Am I blind? We'll see in a second. There it is. That little light area right there. That's the airport. Getting close. I hate this bit. I always get it wrong. Slowing us down now to 250 as we approach 10,000 feet, because under 10,000 feet we need to be at 250 or less. Still not getting deceleration warnings, so no need to arm the speed brake just yet. First officer's going to call that in a second. You know what, let's turn VOR2 off. I don't really need that down there. Bye bye. It's just a little confusing having VOR2 being tracked as well. There's no need on this. Just need to track the ILS on the runway right there. Wonder what that table says. Oh wow, look at that.
Flight level 100.
Thank you. So much detail in this cockpit. Look.
Cabin crew, prepare for landing.
Okay, now it's getting serious. Where are we at? 9,500, so 1,500 feet we're going to be at our transition level. Again, the tutorial has you doing it at 4,000 feet, which is fine if you're the only person in the cockpit. But with a first officer and you have to run approach checklists, landing checklists, and so on and so on, you end up doing all of that right almost on final approach, right about there. It's just way too rushed and stressful. So I doubled it. I don't know why they set that up as 4,000 in the tutorial. I need to reread that and try to understand what they were thinking. I don't think it's an Amsterdam requirement. Oh, we're still at standard. We knock out at that. Oh, no, we would knock out at the transition level. Go to actual. .400. There's the runway now, clear as day. Starting to turn now, putting us in the pattern. Alright, now I need to get a little busy.
Transition level.
Altimeters 1013.
Altimeters 1013.
Approach checklist.
Altimeters 1013.
Check. Set.
Approach checklist complete.
Simple as that. Now we just have the landing checklist. You can hear the cabin crew speaking to the passengers. Pretty cool. Alright, let's change the range down on this now and start thinking about what we need to do. And I will consult the tutorial for this bit. Going over there. Come tutorial. There it is. So we're standard on the altimeters not standard on the altimeters right now, which is great. Around about 206 knots, we want to go to first stage of flaps. Okay. We can do this. We can do this.
Yes, okay, thanks. Captain, the cabin is secure.
Thank you. Here we go. Alright, now I can drop that range down. Talk you through the next bit. So when we get about there, just after EH607, that's when we're going to arm the localizer and start really prepping this thing to land. I'm just going to double check my radios are actually set 110.10. They are. My course is 184. Can't do anything about speed and altitude right now, which is fine. I'm actually going to use the co-pilot to do all that stuff as well. That's a nice steep turn, isn't it? I don't have deceleration warnings, but I am going to arm the speed brakes right now. Putting them at, let's put them at flight to 10, or actually let's just arm them. There we go, speed brake armed. Should have a nice little warning light on the dash now. There. Let's pop down that heads up system. Go back to my proper checklists at this point. Yeah, we're coming up on 607 now. A little bit too fast right now for flaps. There's my flaps out right there. Now with setting the flaps, what you're doing is requesting, you're authorizing the next stage of flaps. So actually when we get there and we say flaps 1, we're saying that you can go to flaps 1 once it's safe to do so. We're not actually lowering the flaps to the first stage. It's kind of a nuance of the airliners that some people don't realize. Alright, so I'm going to concentrate on this now, and I'll probably stop talking to you guys, and let's see if we can get this right. Flaps 1.
Flaps 1. Cabin crew, take your seats.
I'm the localizer.
The localizer. Localizer alive.
Check. Arm approach. Arm approach.
Approach.
Select Command B.
Command B.
Final approach fix.
3, 1, 2, 8 feet.
Check. Landing checklist.
Engine start switches. 1000 to go.
Continuous.
Speed brake.
Armed.
Landing gear.
Gear down.
Gear down.
Checked.
Double check that, please. Standing by for the flaps.
Set speed 147.
Speed 147 set.
Flaps 5.
Flaps 5.
Cleared. Flaps 30.
Flaps 30.
Cleared. Why is it not taking that?
Flaps 30. Green light. Landing checklist complete.
Cleared. Cleared.
Check. .500 feet.
Check.
Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Landing.
Check.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
And we're down. A little bit bumpy, but we made it.
Speed brakes up.
Checked. Roll out. Roll out. Roll out. Okay, now it's ignoring me. Let's turn autopilot off here. Roll out. Oh, I need to turn my mic on. Excuse me. Roll out.
Check. 60 knots.
Checked. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all there is to it. Now, it is a very long taxi from here to the terminal, so I'm not going to do it. What I am going to do is just pull up on this taxiway. There is a circular area that I will drive us to, and we'll go through the next part there, which is very, very quick actually. It's just the first officer turning on APU, oops, and all that good stuff. Love this aircraft. Very much love this aircraft. Oh look, there's that plane that was bugging us back at Gatwick. It's here now. It's haunting me. There's the circular area I was talking about. I'm just going to pull up there. And I'll show you the last command. There's actually a few more commands. You can do a full shutdown checklist with this guy as well. I'm not going to. Don't really want to strand my passengers here. Right about there would be good. Okay to clean up.
Check.
And away he goes. We'll start turning things off. Turn on the APU. Normally this is...
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the conclusion of our flight. Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign and the aircraft is parked safely. This will be your indication that it is safe to move around the cabin, gather your belongings and disembark. We'd like to thank you for flying with us today. We appreciate your business and we hope to see you once again on a future flight. Thank you.
So normally you'd be doing this pretty much close to the gate or at the gate. I just decided to do it here just to show you how it works. I hope you've enjoyed this series. As I said, the next set of videos will be Tutorial Flight 2, which is a horrible flight from here, Eham, to Innsbruck, using the infamous Innsbruck Valley approach. Should be fun. And manual landing. No more computers to land. Manual.
APU is online.
Thanks for watching. Once again, my name is Froogle. Please click like if you like this video series, and if you want to see me do more on the 737, then I will do so. Thanks again. Bye-bye.